Hello, hello. Good morning. Good Saturday morning. Hope you guys are doing well. This is on air. No, it's not on air. This is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I missed yesterday. I missed Friday doing a daily check-in. And I said, you know what? I got time to do it today. So I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to be intentional about doing it on the weekend. There's something to say about doing content on the weekend. Just because it's during traditionally Monday through Fridays, that's what we do, right? But what about you? You have your own business, right? And you want to reach people maybe you can't reach during the week. Or maybe everyone has so much time or they don't have enough time during the week and maybe this is the right time for you to do it. But I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I'm Russell of Hotels. Hope you guys are doing well. This is a daily check-in. I do a daily check-in normally Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I guess today is a special Saturday edition. I don't know, however you want to put it. But hey, I just want to make sure. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I'm live on the platforms I'm supposed to be live on, and that would be LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, so the chat is open. Feel free to make your comments. I'm all about it today. Keep it coming. You know what I mean? I have a topic. The topic is going to be brief, but it's going to be to the point. It's going to be basically about posting content, maybe days that, traditionally other people don't post. Maybe other people that look at content have more time to look at it, right? But it's all about intentionality, right? So it's all about being intentional on the things that you are posting and where you're posting and what time you're posting and all that stuff. But I don't get caught up in the times, but I do get caught up on the days that you should be posting, right? But anyway, but let's get it started because today is Saturday and some people are doing their thing. I normally on Saturdays I do I guess the weekend for me starts on Friday. I do a lot of yard work. Well, I did most of it yesterday, probably 99% of it yesterday, but I wanted to go and buy some plants today so I can put those in the ground, right? So, springtime, all that stuff, you get the spring flowers or whatever. So I was thinking about I need me some New Guinea impatiens. You guys know impatiens? Those are summer plants. I mean, they thrive in the summer, kind of warmer weather, but you need to water them a lot. But they have these things called New Guinea impatiens, which are a little different than the traditional impatiens. So I'm trying to find some of those. I know one place that has them here in the LA area, but I just have to go get them, right? But today I have a family reunion meeting at 11 o'clock. That's a Zoom call. So anyone that's interested in going to that Love Family Reunion, if you're on Facebook right now or Instagram, you guys know about the Love Family Reunion. Okay. So that's July 24th through the 26th this year. And it's going to be from the Pacific Palms Hotel, Pacific Palms Resort in City of Industry, which is right outside of near Pomona. I say from Los Angeles is probably about a 40-minute drive from downtown Los Angeles. So there you go. So more information to come. If you haven't checked out our Facebook page, which is the Love Family Reunion Facebook page 2026, make sure you do that. Okay, especially if you're interested in coming. I've been getting phone calls. People have been sending me stuff. Hey, how do I register for that family reunion? You know what? To be honest with you, I haven't registered either. So, but I got to do it today because cousin Joyce is on me, or she's on everybody to make sure that we take care of that today. So I'm gonna do it today. So there you go. But I did make my hotel reservation already. Okay, so make your hotel reservation. Just reference if you're gonna call. I did it on the link, but if you're gonna call the Pacific Palms Resort, just reference the Love Family Reunion, and boom, there you go. So anyway, let me just check over here on Instagram and see if anyone's there. Nope, no one's on Instagram, and that's okay. But hey, let's get this party started. Every time I do one of these shows, I always say this, I always get it wrong. I'll never do one of these shows where I'm not showcasing a hotel or a destination. Now, I've been showcasing this same destination for the last couple days, and I love the destination. In fact, a good friend of mine, good buddy of mine who lives there, he just posted or just sent me a text and say that they have some inclement weather moving through. And what destination is that? Let me just share with you. It's New Orleans. Okay. I showed this yesterday and I think the day before, but he said there's some inclement weather, meaning storms, tornado watch, and all that kind of stuff coming through. But one day can be the thing about New Orleans or that area. One day could be, I mean, beautiful. I mean, he showed me things. He'll post, "Oh man, it's a beautiful day. I'm out at the park, blah blah blah." And then the next day is like, tornado warning, be careful. Not that they're evacuating or anything like that, but it's just something to be mindful of when you're living in certain destinations. But we ain't talking about going there right now. Okay. We talking about going there, in the future. But anyway, New Orleans is what I'm going to be the showcase of the destination as well as a hotel, and that's going to be the Windsor Court Hotel. So I always want to make sure, I make things easy for people. If you haven't been to New Orleans before, that's fine. If you've been there before, that's fine as well. But if you need information about New Orleans, like you're planning a meeting or planning an event, anything like that, I always want to give people a reference point. NewOrleans.com. The CVB or DMO, which I talk about all the time, Destination Marketing Organization, or the Convention and Visitors Bureau, just where you can get information about that destination, tourism information. Like, a lot of people want to take tours or maybe what hotels to stay in or whatever. But just go neworleans.com. That's pretty simple, right? Neworleans.com. And I give you all the information you probably need about New Orleans. But the CVB or the DMO is called New Orleans and Company. So just so you know. And this right here, this is Jackson Square. Jackson Square in New Orleans. That's kind of a popular place to be. What's up, Don Anthony? I see you, Don Anthony. What's going on? Aren't you supposed to give me a call and we're supposed to have a conversation about something? You would text me or email me or send me a message. It's been several months now. And for anybody that doesn't see this, I see a comment and I just made a comment to someone that said hello to me. So that's Mr. Don Anthony. So like I said, I thought you wanted to have a phone call conversation or whatever. Anyway, if you still want to do that, I'm available. I think you have my phone number. If not, let me know and we'll go from there. Hey Russ, I'll call you soon. Okay. All right. See, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. And that's Chef Don Anthony. Okay. That's not just Don Anthony, just regular Don Anthony. That's Chef Don Anthony. Okay. So I've been seeing the stuff that you've been posting and appreciate that. See, it's all about that branding, right? It's all about that branding. It's all about letting people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, right? So he's been putting stuff out and I appreciate that. And I have been watching you, and I do make comments. So that's the thing with putting you're starting your own business and you're putting your branding and all that stuff out there. You have to be consistent. Okay, always be consistent with it. Let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And he's a chef, but my question would be, does he do vegan stuff? Okay, is he a plant-based chef? He may not be, but can he be creative enough to do that plant-based stuff? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but anyway, speaking of plant-based, last night went to this restaurant and I've been there several times. I think it's become my favorite restaurant. And it's just a side note, right? So it's called Planta, Planta Cocina. Planta Cocina is happens to be in Marina Del Rey. It's 100% plant-based restaurant. I mean, the food is, I don't know. What can I say? It's good. It's great. It's awesome. I mean, and it's not just the food. The atmosphere is cool. It's in Marina Del Rey, kind of overlooks the boat slips and all that stuff. Um, I mean, it's a walkable kind of area as well. But the service in there is outstanding. And shout out to this young lady, she was our server named Yesenia. Okay. So Yesenia, okay, I've been there probably 5 times. Okay, I've probably been there 5 times. Now, prior to last night, we were there celebrating a good friend's birthday. Shout out to Ernest Martin. Happy birthday. We're there celebrating his birthday. And we were there maybe, I don't say 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And this young lady, Yesenia, had served us, right? And we came back last night. She remembered everything. She's like, "Oh my God, I remember you guys." I'm like, "You remember us?" She goes, "Yeah, I remember this. I remember you got my name wrong and all that." Oh, it wasn't me, but Ernest got her name wrong, right? And she, but she just went along with it. You know how people say, "Oh, her name is." He was calling her Michaela, right? Her name was Yesenia. He'd call her Michaela, but she just kind of just went. She just went with the punches, right? She didn't say anything. She never corrected him or anything like that. But I caught on to it. I said, "Wait a minute, her name is not Michaela, it's Yesenia, right?" And he said, "It is," that kind of stuff, right? But she just rolled with the punches, and it didn't stop her from serving us or doing, just showing us this hospitality, right? It didn't stop us. But she remembered those things. She remembered what we ordered. Like I said, this is 3 weeks ago. Now, damn it, I know that she probably remembers everyone else's too, but I'm concerned about how she treated us, right? Our group. It was six of us. And she remembered what each person ordered. Is that crazy or not? I thought that was the wildest thing. But shout out to Yesenia. Shout out to Planta Cocina in Marina Del Rey, 100% plant based. And believe me, not everyone that eats in there is a vegan or plant based. I would probably say more people in there are non-vegan than vegan. Okay. And I shout out to them because it's one of those restaurants that want to keep it that way, right? They want to keep it 100% plant based or vegan. There's some of them that are giving in to, mainstream restaurants, and for whatever reason, I don't understand it. But if you're if you're if you're gonna be down, 10 toes down. Okay. If you're gonna be a vegan, damn it, be a vegan or be a vegan restaurant. Don't try to start introducing other stuff that's the mainstream food, right? Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. But no, if you're ever in the Marina Del Rey area, if you're in Los Angeles, go if you want you want a great hospitality, you want a great atmosphere. You never been to Marina Del Rey, you never been to Planta, you want to try a 100% vegan restaurant, go to Planta Cocina. Okay, so anyway, boom, let me get out of that. So New Orleans and Company, neworleans.com. Like I said, any information at all you can find there. French Quarter, just the architecture there, the design and things that are going on in New Orleans, unlike any other place in the world. Okay, so New Orleans, it has its own flavor. Definitely has its own flavor. And speaking of flavor, make sure you have a hurricane. I do recommend having a hurricane. I don't recommend you drinking a hand grenade. Okay, that has to be the most vile stuff I've ever had in my life. I didn't even finish it. I got this big thing. I'm like, "Oh, you gotta have a hand grenade." Oh, man, no. Never again. I guess that's a once in a lifetime drink. Okay. You don't ever have to have another hand grenade again, and I won't. Let's see. This is City Park, right? This is City Park, the lake, walkable. Just a beautiful. Well, that day was beautiful. Just the colors and everything. Things that you don't think happen in New Orleans are happening, right? Beautiful parks, museums, all that stuff, sculptures throughout City Park. Those are things that you should check out. So when you go to neworleans.com, just check out City Park. And then you say, "Oh, that's what Russell's talking about. Yes, I want to go there when I'm in New Orleans." Because New Orleans is not just the French Quarter, okay? It's a lot of other things as well. So it's not just the Superdome, it's not the convention center. There's a lot of things that go on in and around New Orleans, but a lot of people don't even know that because they get caught up in the French Quarter, which is great. The food is great, all that stuff. I love it too. So this is a sculpture. That's my favorite sculpture in City Park. I don't know why, but I was, walking around. Like I said, my buddy was showing me around, and we came across that's like that's pretty unique. And it's like a tall woman, right? She's like must be about 7'2" or something like that. Anyway, the sculpture, but anyway. And of course, the hotel I want to showcase stayed here, the Windsor Court in New Orleans, 313 guest rooms, 10,000 square feet of meeting space. This is out by the pool. Just wanted to show you, you can go out there and get your lounge on if that's what you want to do. It's right downtown and it overlooks the Mississippi River. So you can't beat that, right? It's on their second floor and all there for meeting purposes, because that's one reason why I go to a lot of hotels is for potential meeting sites for my clients. And I could say that the Windsor Court in New Orleans, all their meeting space, they only have 10,000 square feet of meeting space, which is small, but all their meeting space has natural lighting. As you can see the windows right there, right? All of them have natural lighting. All of them have windows, and a lot of clients look for that. So that's one thing that I would say they have over a lot of other hotels. And this is the lobby area, just a nice, beautiful hotel, upscale, upscale, and all the rooms are suites. All the rooms are suites, different size suites. I mean, you got parlor suites, smaller suites, or mini suites. You have two, three, four bedroom suites, but very, very nice. And like I said, located right down next to the heart of everything. Everything New Orleans. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And I could not, not show you the beignets, okay? And I never told you this, right? Did I tell you guys this? These beignets are vegan. They're plant-based, okay? I don't know how they make them. Obviously, they don't have eggs or dairy, right? But no, these are, in fact, I can't think of I can't think of the restaurant now that we got, but it was in the French Market. In the French Market. There's a restaurant that serves vegan, 100% vegan food there. So the beignets, which are popular, I can't go there without having a beignet. Or that was just four. I think that was the first four I had. I think I maybe had another four after that. Also, I had they had vegan jambalaya, red beans and rice, which is vegan as well, gumbo, and po' boys. Okay. So instead of having like oyster po' boys or shrimp po' boy or whatever po' boys people have, they had oyster mushroom po' boys. Huh. Man, you're talking about some good eating there. Okay. So if you're ever in New Orleans, say you're plant-based and you said, I can't go to New Orleans because I can't eat anything. They have a pretty good plant-based scene there. Okay. New Orleans does a great job with that. Okay. So in fact, go to neworleans.com and see what you find as far as plant-based restaurants there. There's a lot more than the ones I've gone. The one I went to, I only went to one. It was in the French Market. So French Market is one of those places you need to go to anyway, because there's a lot of things there. Everything New Orleans. That's where you can get your hats, your gear and all that kind of stuff as well. Cheaper probably than some of the other places, but so check it out. So if you're ever in New Orleans, check it out. And also, you want to stay at the Windsor Court, New Orleans, right? So my job is to elevate brands, right? Because you may not have been in New Orleans, maybe you have been, but maybe you didn't stay at the Windsor Court. Maybe you didn't know about the Windsor Court. So my job is to make sure people know about the hotels, at least I've experienced while I was there. Now I stayed at another hotel as well, which was the Aloft, Marriott Aloft Hotel. But I'm not showing that today. I'm showing the Windsor Court. So there you go. There you go. Okay, real quick topic for today. The brands that stay visible on the weekend are the ones people. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, 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 no. That's true, but that's not. Dang it. That's not the topic for today. Dang it. I'm gonna get to that, but I didn't see. That's one thing. I didn't change it. Where am I now? See, now I'm lost. Now I'm lost. Lost on the podcast. Okay, this is the this is the topic. Why you should be intentional about posting content on weekends. Okay, everybody wants to know about this, right? Because some people, we read a lot of content, but are we posting content? Maybe we're looking at old content that people posted, old meaning maybe they posted it yesterday, the day before, and we haven't got to it, right? So we're trying to get to this content. Well, it's okay to post things, during the week as well, right? Or during on the weekend, right? So today's Saturday, right? I'm working. I mean, this is work, right? So people forget that posting and marketing your business is especially if it's your business, that's a 24-hour hour a day thing, 7 days a week, right? 365. You should be doing things all the time for your business, right? Whenever you have a spare moment, if it's your brand, if it's your business that you are trying to grow, if you work for something that you're serious about, maybe you're a salesperson with a DMO or a salesperson with a hotel, and sometimes you don't have time during the week to do things that are, that can reach out to your clients or whatever. Sometimes we got to do things on the weekend or Saturday. It doesn't take long to do. What am I going to do in this? Let's see. When did I start this? How long have I been on this? I've been on it 20 minutes. Okay. Am I going to be on here another 20 minutes? Probably not. Okay. So maybe another 10 minutes and I'm going to be done. Right. But I have to be intentional about it. I had to think about it today. I did wake up saying, you know what? I need to do something because I missed doing a live yesterday. Right. And I normally do it Monday through Friday. I'm normally doing something. But because I was busy doing some other things, I was like, you know what? Why not today? Why not a Saturday? Okay, I wasn't doing anything. I did my yard work yesterday. Remember that? Although I want to go buy some plants and maybe plant those later, and I do have a meeting at 11 o'clock. That's fine. I still have time to do that stuff, right? So, so real quick, we're going to go through this. Why you should do that? Why you should be intentional about posting content on weekends. Okay, why should you be doing that at Russell of Hotels? Are you kidding me? I got enough stuff to do. The draft is on. The fourth round of the draft. I have to watch that. Yeah, whatever. So, okay, real quick. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean your brand should disappear. Okay, your brand should always be visible. Okay, it shouldn't disappear because it's the weekend. In hospitality and in any business, visibility is what keeps you relevant. Okay. The question isn't, should you post on weekends? The question is, are you being intentional when you do? That's the question. Number one. Okay. So I have 3 points. Of course, I always have 3 points, right? Always going to be three. I want it in bite-sized pieces so you can digest it and like, that was pretty good, what Russell said. Woo, boy. I'm on one today. So hold on. Number one, weekends give you a less crowded stage. What? What does that mean? During the week, everyone is posting hotels, brands, sales teams, announcements. On the weekend, there's less noise. Okay. That means your content has a better chance to be seen, be heard, be remembered. So if you're looking to stand out, weekends can actually give you an advantage. Okay. So you have an advantage if you do it on the weekends. Everyone's not doing it. Everyone has the mindset that most people have. I'm not working on the weekend. I'm not posting things. Although it's my business, it's my brand, I want to grow it, but I don't want to do it on the weekends. I don't want to grow it on the weekends. I only want to grow it, Monday through Friday. Think about that for a second. It's your business, it's your brand, right? You want to take it serious, right? You're, trying to do something that your competition is not doing. All right. So even if you don't own it, you work for someone. And remember this, because this is a thing that people don't get. You are the brand. The brand, if you're a salesperson, if you work for a DMO, if you work for a hotel, you are the brand that people will buy from. They may buy that product that you're selling, that other brand that you're selling, but you're the face of the brand. Okay. I always tell people that. I still don't think they get it. Like, I am? I'm the brand? Yeah, because the hotel or the DMO, New Orleans cannot cannot sell itself. Someone has to be the front person, the face of that organization, right? I mean, they can have many faces of the organization, right? But everyone has their own market. So be the face of your own market. Okay. So if I do only Smurf, if I do association, if I do corporate, be the face of that market. Okay. Regardless of what, if it's a hotel or a destination, be the face of that market or your organization, right? That's what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying now? So once again, number one, weekends give you a less crowded stage. There's less people there. Number two, your audience is consuming content differently. People are not in meeting mode on the weekend. They're in scrolling mode. More people are scrolling, right? No one's meeting, they're scrolling. They have more time to watch your videos. Hey, hello, I'm Russell Hotels. Thank you so much for joining this video. Engage with your message, content, connect with your story, Okay, let me say that again because that's kind of jumble. Let me say that again. So people are not in meeting mode on the weekend. They're in scrolling mode. They have more time to watch your videos, engage with your message, connect with your story. This is the perfect time to share experiences, insights, and behind the scenes content. So that's the perfect time to do that. Let's say you're a hotel, excuse me, sales manager, and sometimes I have to drink some water here. Podcaster's best friend is always have water with you. And mine happens to be Perrier. So man, that was a good one. So a lot of salespeople in hotels, I assume they still do this. Every now and then you pull a MOD shift, right? A manager on duty shift. And a lot of times salespeople, because they're busy during the week, they may have to do it on a weekend, like a Saturday. Oh, I got the MOD, right? Well, isn't that a good time to do those things, to maybe post your content? You got to be there anyway. And weekends can be a little busy sometimes they're not, but I guess it depends on, the time of day. But couldn't you do that then? Can you post some content then? You could. I would think that's what I would do. I'm thinking back in the day when I was on property. I would have done that. That was over 7 years ago, though, right? So we weren't doing this back then, right? We weren't posting like people are posting now. But if I'm back on property now and I'm working an MOD shift on a Saturday and there's some lull time, I am posting content. I'm working on videos, I'm posting content. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So once again, it's the perfect time to share experiences, insights, behind the scenes content. I'll be in the back office, in the back. This is what it looks like here. We're here to serve you. A lot of things going on behind the scenes that you don't see, but these are things that I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you a firsthand look at. We're working on this. The chef is working on this dinner that we have for 300 people tonight. These are things that we're working on. These are things that we're serving. This is going to be the assembly line. I mean, all that stuff I would be showing that, because guess what? A lot of people on the other side don't know what we do in the back of the house of the hotel. Housekeeping, this is a housekeeping manager. This is what happens. They do it and they're breaking out the house right now. What does breaking out the house mean? You explain this is how we assign rooms, or how they assign rooms. All that kind of stuff, right? See, I know that because I used to be a housekeeping manager back in the day. That's where I started. So those are things that could be intriguing to people, but if you don't think about it like that, you're never gonna come up with it. But I'm throwing ideas because that's what I'm an idea man. I'm letting you guys know. So once again, perfect time to share experiences, insights, behind the scenes content, not just what you do, but who you are as a brand. Okay. So number 3, we're almost done here. Consistently builds brand awareness. Anyone can show up Monday through Friday, but when your brand is visible on weekends too, it sends a message of you're consistent, you're intentional, and you're serious about your brand. Okay. If you show up on the weekend, damn it, people are going to think, oh, shoot, he's doing a live on the weekend. Like, who does that? Well, that means that you're serious about what you do. That's how I look at it. Right. And I'm sure other people like, oh my God, someone's going to say, I saw you posting a live on Saturday. Someone's going to say that without fail. Someone's going to say that to me. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. This is my brand. I have to do it. In order for people to know who I am, what I do, and how I can help, I need to let them know. I'm Russell of Hotels, right? I elevate brands, right? That's why I showed, you know, about New Orleans. I talked about New Orleans, the destination. That's why I showed the Windsor Court Hotel, right? Because I'm all about elevating brands that you may not have known even existed, right? So maybe now you go into New Orleans, somebody out there, they may not be planning now, but they may be going to New Orleans in the future, and they may say, bing, I remember that Russell of Hotels mentioned something about City Park. I want to go check that out. Or there's a vegan place in the French market and they have vegan beignets. Or that Windsor Court Hotel. Oh my God, that looked nice. I think I want to stay there. I'm going to check it out. It may take some time, but the more the repetition, the more you repeat things, the more people are going to see it. They're more likely to see it and they're more likely to act on it because no one's going to act on it the first time. I mean, that'd be great if they did, but that's not always the case, right? So let's just make sure consistency builds brand awareness. Let me just say that again. Anyone can show up Monday through Friday. In fact, that's what we're expected to do. Show up Monday through Friday. But when your brand is visible on the weekends, today's Saturday, people, okay, that sends a strong message. You're consistent, you're intentional, and you're serious about your brand. And that's what you want, right? Isn't that what you want? I think so. I could be wrong. I always say visibility leads to brand awareness, and brand awareness leads to bookings. Posting on the weekend is not about posting more, it's about posting with purpose. If you're intentional, weekends can become one of the most powerful times to build your brand and stay top of mind because all the other noise is going on during the week, right? But if you're posting things on the weekend, more than likely you're going to be seen. Maybe you're going to be seen more on the weekends because that's when people are really actively scrolling and looking for certain things. And of course, I always end it with a quote, right? I always got to end it with another quote from Russell of Hotels. You can write it down if you want to. The brands that stay visible on the weekend are the ones people remember during the week. Boom, drop the mic. Okay, I got a mic here. I should just drop it right now because that's so true, right? The brands that stay visible on the weekend are the ones people remember during the week. Whew, man, that was a good one. That was a good one. That's my dog. What's up, Marvin Moon? Marvin Moon. But yeah, so that just anytime Marvin Moon comes on, it gives me flashbacks to back in the day when we went to college together, played football together. College of the Desert, COD. Okay, Marvin Moon, receiver extraordinaire. Okay, probably one of the best wideouts I've seen. That I played with. Okay, one of the best wideouts that was just as smooth as could be. Right. But anyway, I had to say that, Marvin. But no, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you, Don, for coming on as well. Let me see. Was anything on Instagram and all? No, it was not. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what it's all about, right? So let people know it doesn't matter if it's the weekends, right? Let people know that you're there and you have a brand and you're serious about it and you're consistent because people won't do business with someone that's not consistent, right? So hopefully people see this and they say, "Oh, Russell, as far as creating brand visibility and elevating one's brand, I want to work with Russell because he knows how to do that. I can come along with his brand because I'm going to these places, right? I'm going and I'm going to post things on the weekends, okay? I'm going to post things during the week, okay? I'm going to go and actively check out hotels. I'm going to actively check out destinations, right? I'm doing all that stuff and I'm posting those things. So why not let me bring yours along too? But just remember this: I'll never talk about or post anything about a hotel or a destination that I have not experienced myself, right? Because that defeats the purpose, right? So say someone calls me and says, "Hey, I see you do your own yard, right? And I want to do it for you, right? Like, okay, I'll let you do it. I mean, but I never let you do it. But can you talk about it? No, I can't let you talk about because I've never used your services, right? Why would I do that? Or I'm talking about restaurants I've never been to. Okay. I'm talking about a restaurant that serves meat and I don't eat meat, right? That would defeat who the heck Russell of Hotels is or Russell Edmond is because I'm not going to a regular restaurant. If I may go to a regular restaurant, but they have to have some items for me to eat, right? Okay. If they don't have items for me to eat, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not even going to go there. Okay. But like I said, I started the show today. I went to this restaurant called Planta Cocina, which is in Marina Del Rey, 100% vegan, right? You guys know I'm plant-based, right? So I'm going to talk about plant-based until the cows come home. What they gonna do when they come home? I don't care what they do because I don't eat cows, right? I don't do that. So I'm gonna talk about those types of restaurants or those types of experiences because I've experienced those, that restaurant, right? And I've been there. I want to say I've been there 5 times at least now. One, two. Maybe this is probably the fifth time that I've been there. And yeah, it's become one of my favorite restaurants. not just for the food. The food is outstanding, but the service is even better than the food. Okay. Can you imagine that? Go to a place that the service that people remember you. It's kind of like Cheers, right? Everyone knows your name. I want to go where everyone knows your name. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on and checking it out. Once again, I'm live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So anyone that's there, hello. But anyway, so that is it. So real quick, I just went over why you should be posting things on the weekend. Okay. I think we're missing the point by not doing it. But I'm gonna do is real quick. I'm just gonna say the topics real quick. The topic was why should you be intentional about posting content on the weekends? Because a lot of people don't do it. Number one, weekends give you a less crowded stage. Boom. Number two, your audience is consuming content differently. They're scrolling. They're not, taking things. They're scrolling, so they're seeing more things on the weekend. And number three, consistency builds brand awareness. So yeah, doing it on the weekend lets people know that, oh, this Russell is consistent. He is serious. He's someone I want to work with. Okay. So they can be saying the same thing about you. And once again, this is the quote. I always come up with a good quote. Okay. I have to pat myself on the back sometime. The brands that stay visible on the weekends are the ones people remember during the week. Who says that? Anyway, that is it. You guys have a great weekend. I appreciate you guys, tuning in and taking the time just even if you just showed yourself. I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day and have a great weekend and do something fun. Okay. Because it's the